All right, dude. So, 12th year doing this. But this time you got Anti-Flag, you got Limp Bizkit, and you got Suicidal Tendencies,
Yeah.
which I didn't expect any of those three would ever be here. So, how did you come about to getting them?
So all those bands are always on a list that I present every year, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. Maybe they're on tour, maybe they have a show that weekend. I was actually trying to book Suicide Boys, also on this, but yeah, they had a show. So yeah, sometimes just things work out, and I got lucky. I've always wanted Suicidal. I've always been a fan of Anti-Flag and Limp Bizkit and everyone. I'm a fan of everyone. There's not a band on here I'm like, Right. I like everybody.
I feel like Anti-Flag had a big year last year, touring nonstop. They did some stuff with AFI and Rise Against as well. So it's good to have them back around this year.
Yeah, for sure.
So you did a amazing collaboration with a buddy of mine, Dom, YUNGBLUD, and Halsey, 11 Minutes. What was that collaboration like? Like, how did you guys come about to doing that?
So I got a call from Halsey and my friend Zach Cervini at like 11:30 at night, and they're like, "Dude, would you come play on something?" Yeah. And I was like, "Sure, where you at?" And he's like, "We're at this studio," and I said, "Yeah, I'll pull up, come check it out." And I played the song, like I got in the studio, I played the song, I listened to it once, or a part that they had, and then I went in and I played the song, and then YUNGBLUD was like, "Can you do it one more time, just for like shits and giggles? Like I just want to see it one more time." And I was like, "Sure, whatever, And then like a week later, Zach had hit me and he showed me it pretty much finished.
Yeah. Did you get to do any writing with them at all, like, or you just went in and played the drums?
I didn't. I that was like a session I just jumped in on like last minute and played the drums on it.
Now, Zach is another producer that's been like killing it in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
What's that relationship like with you and him when you guys collaborate, or when he brings collaborations to you?
So there's all sorts of ways that it happens. On the Suicide Boys EP, there's actually a song on there where I had a drum beat, and I had invited Zach over one day because he lives his studio's really close to mine. I said, "Hey, I have this. I envisioned this for Yellow Wolf," and then it ended up, Ruby and Scrim heard it and freaked out and were like, "Yo, we got to get on that." And that was just like one of those things. Sometimes, music's weird. You're basically an architect of an idea,
right.
And it could be an idea that doesn't go anywhere, that you just make, or maybe it sits around in a computer forever, and then 2 years later someone hears it and it's like, "Oh my God, that's a fucking gem. I want that." That just happened again on the Suicide Boys EP, with Horror. Actually, I did a track with Horror.
Sick, okay.
Yeah, and I played him something that had like blast beats in it and all this crazy shit, and I was like, maybe I just did this for my own fun. Maybe it actually doesn't ever have a home, and they heard it and got on it within like minutes. So
what is it about this style of music that kind of draws your attention? Because it's almost similar to Fever, who you brought out last year.
Yeah, well, I grew up listening to rap music before I ever heard punk rock music or rock music or metal, anything. So that's always been the main thing I listen to. And music's in a weird spot right now where rap music is popular music. Right. And there's all these cool subgenres of it that are inspired by pop punk. You have people like Juice WRLD and Post Malone who grew up on Blink, and then you have like people like Suicide Boys who grew up on old 3-6, and you know what I mean? Like, there's just all these great things happening in music. In general, music's fucking good right now, I just made a couple really, really great records with Machine Gun Kelly.
Nice. Okay.
I guess it's just a matter of getting in with the artists you really like and you really enjoy making music with.
Right. And that's one thing I've loved about you, that you're passionate about artists both new and old, or established, not old necessarily, but when you discover a new artist, like how do you go about it as far as like, okay, I'm going to work with them, I'm going to try and feature them, I'm going to try and promote them?
Most of the great things happen by accident.
Okay.
I had seen Jason from the Fever, who wasn't in a band anymore, Let Live was kind of like, stopped playing, and I seen him in Erewhon selling cookies, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just helping my friend's company out, they're doing vegan cookies." And I was like, "That's cool, but like, why aren't you playing music, man? You belong on fucking stage. You're one of the best frontmen ever." And then we were just talking about Bad Brains and Rage Against the Machine and Death Grips, and he was like, "Oh, I'd love to do something like that." And literally the next day I got him in the studio and we started what would be the Fever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like I said, most of the magic happens on accident. You don't, you know, like I didn't set out, you know, and write on a piece of paper my goals to have a tattoo festival. You know, most of the great things just happen. Let them happen.
Now you came back with Feldman in December to work on the new Blink record. What is so different this time around on this record? What you know, how has Feldman kind of challenged you guys this time?
So Feldman's working on the record, but we've also, you know, I've been doing a bunch of writing just at my studio and bringing it to Feldman's. We also just worked with like Pharrell on the album. Nice. Worked with like this other producer called the Futuristics, which is like a team. So it's kind of anything goes. It's same vibe that was going on when we did Self-Titled. Like literally anything goes. And I think we're creating one of the most important Blink albums. So I'm really proud of it.
You think we could hear that before the Warped Tour event?
It will definitely be out before the Warped Tour.
Sick.
Yeah, yeah. I think we'll be finished up right after the time we play Back to the Beach.